The man simply tossed the diamond ring he was holding. The very next second he unlocked a spending reward system. All he had to do was spend money to earn incredible rewards. However, the prerequisite is that the expenditure must exceed 100,000 yuan or more. But the man doesn't even have $1,000 on him now, let alone $100,000. To help him rapidly climb to the pinnacle of life, the system directly granted him a black card loaded with $1 billion. This made the man ecstatic. To verify the system's authenticity, he immediately went to a beverage shop. He told the server to bring out the most expensive drinks they had, and announced he was treating everyone in the place to a round. But a guy standing nearby took one look at his delivery driver uniform, and started mocking him for acting rich when he clearly had no money. Yet the very next second, the server respectfully handed the man his bank card, stating his current purchase amounted to $1 million. The guy who'd been talking trash was completely speechless. Right then the system confirmed he'd successfully spent $1 million, and rewarded him with a 10x boost to his physical abilities. His body was now on par with a professional athlete. The man couldn't stop grinning. He knew his life was about to take off. The next day, he went to the car dealership to buy a car, but here he found his ex-girlfriend's best friend. She assumed he was there to get on her good side and win back his ex, so she told him not to waste his time, and demanded he get the hell out. But he told her to stop flattering herself. He was just there to buy a car. His ex's friend then told all the salespeople to ignore him. She said a broke loser like him could never afford anything in this place. But right then, a kind saleswoman offered to show him around. The man immediately spotted a $10 million Ferrari, and told her to go ahead and get the paperwork ready. But just as the salesperson finished preparing the contract and offered a $200,000 discount, the man suddenly became displeased. She thought maybe the discount wasn't big enough for him. She quickly apologized and explained that was the best deal the dealership could offer. But the man said he didn't want any discount at all. He wanted to pay the full $10 million. The saleswoman was stunned. She never expected him to be that loaded, so she rushed off to redo the contract. Right then, the system confirmed he'd successfully spent $10 million, and rewarded him with ownership of the most luxurious shopping mall in the city. The man was over the moon. He couldn't believe he was now a major player in the business world. The saleswoman soon came back with the new contract, but just as the man prepared to leave, he was once again mocked by his ex-girlfriend's best friend. She assumed he'd come empty-handed, but the beautiful saleswoman beside her stated he'd already purchased a car, and paid for it in full. The man then flung the car purchase contract at her. He told her to open her dog eyes and see clearly. She hurriedly picked up the contract from the floor. Only when she saw the man's name did she realize how ridiculous she had been. But the man wasn't done with her. Citing his status as a VIP customer, he fired his ex-girlfriend's best friend on the spot. He then drove his sports car to the hotel where he'd booked the presidential suite. But who did he run into there? His ex-girlfriend and her rich boyfriend. The moment his ex saw him step out of the sports car, she immediately demanded to know why he was driving such a fancy vehicle. Her boyfriend scoffed and said a broke loser like him could never afford a car like that. He insisted the car must be rented. The man retorted that they were trash who judged people by their appearance. The rich kid instantly flew into a rage. He ordered the man to watch his mouth. He declared this was the most upscale hotel in the entire city. It wasn't a place for a poor loser like him to be. His ex-girlfriend claimed he must have secretly followed her, but the man told her not to flatter herself. He was just there to check into his room. She laughed and said one night here cost more than his entire monthly salary. She mocked him, asking if he was planning to sleep in the bathroom. Just then, the hotel butler called the man. He asked where the man was. The man said he ran into a little trouble while parking, and told the butler to come out with some staff to handle it. His ex overheard and assumed he was there to deliver the car. She mocked him, saying he must be moonlighting as a delivery driver on top of his regular job. The rich kid also remarked that even if he worked 100 years he'd never be able to afford a Ferrari. Just then, the hotel butler approached with his staff, and slapped the rich boyfriend right across the face. She said the man was a VIP guest at the hotel, and she would never allow anyone to ruin his experience. The rich boyfriend was furious and refused to back down. He whipped out his bank card and demanded she book him a presidential suite, but the butler told him the presidential suite cost $110,000 a night. He was completely stunned. There was no way he could come up with that kind of money on the spot. The man didn't want to waste any more time with them. He was ready to head inside and get some rest, but his ex stopped him. She insisted this was all just some scheme to win her back. She claimed he must have borrowed money to book the hotel, and the sports car was definitely a rental. The butler cut her off. She said the man had booked his room for a full 30 days, and paid the entire amount up front. His ex still refused to believe it. She immediately called her friend who worked at the car dealership, but her friend told her she'd just been fired, and it was all because of what happened when the man came in to buy a car. She told his ex everything that went down at the dealership. His ex was absolutely floored.